This was a great one. It is a car interview, I will warn you. And we are definitely looking the part.
Joel was great. He was so personable and he had such great stories to tell about Leathürbitch and, how I can possibly become a Leathürbitch, as he was asked. So,
Even a loudness ski gown. He never saw that one coming.
Anyway, here's the interview. Check it out.
Oh.
Yeah, as you can see, listening to this record has side effects.
Yeah.
I was a blonde a week ago.
Oh gosh, I can see the inspiration there. It looks great. Love it.
In case you need new cover art, see, I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'll keep you in mind for sure.
Yeah.
So you started out as a band in 2015 in Los Angeles before moving to Portland, Oregon. So what kind of prompted the move?
Apologize for that. I had a call coming through. We started in Washington, like Olympia area, and we ended up moving to the Portland area, and that is the origin of the band for sure, location wise.
Yeah, I was just are the two music scenes very different between Los Angeles and Portland?
Um, yes and no. I think they're both very passionate music scenes, and they're definitely more notable than others, I would say. But they're very similar, I would say, just as far as like all the different subgenres of metal and just all extreme genres of music just kind of intermingling together as one. There's like a lot of unity.
Right.
So yeah, very very similar.
How did you come up with the name of the band and the spelling and all that stuff? Or who did?
Um, the guitar player Patrick, he's the other member that sort of formed the band with me. That was all his idea. The name. It's based off of a Motley Crue thing. Back in the early '80s, before they put out Too Fast for Love, they were trying to find a distributor to put it out for them, and they were having trouble. So they actually made their own record label called Leather Records, and it was spelled with the U and the umlaut on there.
Right.
So yeah, Patrick kind of just coined that and made Leathürbitch, and it just kind of all came together.
That's right. I remember hearing that story.
Yeah, it's a good idea because I don't think anybody else. Because when I first saw it, I was like, "Are they British?" I was so confused.
I think we confused a lot of our European audience, and I think some of them were actually kind of offended. I think for the incorrect use of grammar, but we think it looks cool. So
What's funny that you bring that up because when I was young, I remember an interview with Nikki Sixx where he said he got the umlaut in Crew from Motorhead, and then he changed it 10 years later and said it was from Lowenbrow beer.
Oh God.
So he
I
didn't
remember
want
the one back here part. Yeah, I
yeah, but it
changed
was
huh?
he changes his story every time he's got a new book coming out or whatever, So,
Yeah, I make you six rolls for sure.
right, because we're getting too old to remember, I guess. So,
Yeah, for sure.
I liked the first story better, coming from Lowenbrow. I'm like, who the hell drinks Lowenbrow? I'm like,
yeah,
Nickel? I don't know.
exactly. Yeah. So,
I know. I'm like, what's that?
especially because I think Live Wire sounds like a Motorhead song. Like to me, I always thought he kind of nobody in the US really knew who Motorhead was at that point. They weren't huge. So what a great band to, imitate for your first single.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they made a great choice.
Yeah, I hear a lot of Motorhead in that song.
So, what would you say the ingredients of Portland sleaze speed are?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's a great question. Well, I think that to be for the ingredients for Portland Sleaze Speed, obviously just a heavy foundation of just fast-paced music, but with kind of like that sleazy, streetwise city attitude about it. I don't know. I think that like sleaze metal and just the kind of like the guitar arrangements and just like sort of like the vibe of some of the songs, if you kind of mix them together with the speed metal, I think it just kind of like I don't know, it creates this kind of combination that you never knew you wanted. So yeah, I just this heavy foundation of speed, and with your lyrics, I mean, I guess the lyrical content can just kind of go all over the place. I've been trying to stray away from like actual sleazy lyrics. I think those are kind of dumb, but
Yeah, the Steel
I don't
Panther.
know. Sleazy is kind of a broad term. I think that it just kind of stands for just kind of like, I don't know, not trying to go with the whole modern metal sort of stereotypes that are going on right now, and kind of paying homage to the 80s a little bit in what you do, keeping it a little bit more traditional. I don't know. It's
Yeah,
hard to explain, but it's just a combination of two of our favorite genres just kind of spliced together just like that.
yeah. The first time I saw the album cover, my first thought was Spinal Tap, which is always a good thing, you know.
Oh yeah, you can't
Yeah,
go wrong with Spinal Tap.
right, right. Yeah.
So I think you guys do great with an authentic sound that does not stray like Steel Panther into parody. You know, where do you think you would draw the line as far as like how far would you take it? Because I really think you do a good job at that.
Oh, thank you. You kind of cut off a little bit. All I heard was how far you take it.
Yeah, it's like because they have like ridiculous. I don't know if you've heard like I want to fuck the girl on Instagram because he's bitching about filters. But I like the fact that you keep it more rock and roll rather than go to the parody.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, there's a thin line between rock and roll and parody when you're working with that sort of genre. And I always hated the parody aspect. I like bands like Steel Panther, I always felt that they were just making fun of my favorite kind of music. Like when I found out that they were joking, I was upset. I bought one of their records and everything like that, and I got rid of it. I actually ended up selling it for like $200. Their records like went up in price when
Wow.
they hit big. Yeah, it was after that Judas Priest tour they did. They just I don't know, they got kind of in people's minds, and yeah, their record prices shot up, but it's like yeah, everyone's just making fun of 80s hair metal, and I took it seriously, damn it.
I know what you mean. Actually, when I remember when Priest took them out as the opener, I was like, "Wow, really, Steel Panther? We're afraid of being upstaged, apparently." You know.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely was waiting in the car drinking beers when they were playing, for sure.
Mm.
Yeah.
I've had that situation myself. So question for you. We read that you had formal vocal lessons in your 20s.
I
Um,
did, yeah.
was it a good thing? What did you like it? Do you regret it? I mean, was it helpful?
Honestly, I do kind of regret it a little bit. Um, it yeah, vocal coaches, they want your money and they will scam the shit out of you. Like, I feel like I was really taken advantage of as a young vocalist. A lot of much older people, much more skilled vocalists, I think they took advantage of me and just kind of used me for my money. These lessons weren't cheap, and I was working at Walmart in my
Oh
early
my God.
20s,
Okay.
barely scraping by, so I could pay for these lessons. And just, I don't know. I went through about three different teachers, and all of them weirded me out, and they all just really, really did not accept my dreams as a metal vocalist. They all thought it was very against
Yeah.
every vocalist rule. They wanted me to sing like traditional jazz. They wanted me to do all this, do all that. I'm like, I'm sorry, like it's not what I want to do. So
Yeah. No, I
that
hear you.
being encouraging.
Yeah, when I took guitar lessons, it took me a while to unlearn all that crap, like all the extra scales and all. It's fucked me up big time. Like, because I started thinking about it, and when you think you're dead, you know. So
100%.
yeah, so I'm not a fan of taking any kind of formal lessons when it comes to music. No,
You have an amazing range and
you do.
certainly, no stranger to falsetto. Do you have any idea what your range is at all?
That's a good question. I wish I could tell you that. Haven't looked at that since I was last in vocal training. We used to pull out the keyboard and see where my lowest note was and where my highest was. If I could tell you what that was now, I have no idea, to be honest with you. It just, yeah, it does its thing. It works.
You can shatter the crystal. That's all that matters.
There you go. There you go. Yes.
Yeah, and your performances are so almost theatrical. I'm like, does he have theatrical background?
I do, yeah. I was definitely a drama kid in high school and all that, doing theater and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, just being on stage is always just where I felt most comfortable, I think, and I really just really try to have a good time when I'm up there for sure.
That's great.
Yeah, it shows. We met in drama class. Shocking, right?
That's funny. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. That's wonderful. So cool. You make some of your best friends in drama class, that's for sure.
So I really I liked your back catalog too, but I think Shattered Vanity is even a little darker, harder, and almost near speed metal at times. It just right on the edge there. But I think it is a little less glam than the other one. Was this a conscious push or just kind of a natural evolution?
It was both, to be honest with you. Our previous record, Into the Night, is very, very much a glam record, and we did that on purpose. We really wanted to just experiment with that whole vibe and just see what that would do for us. And I mean, we had a lot of fun with that record, but I think that at the end of the day, we found that we need a little bit more speed than that, I think that we kind of sacrificed a little bit of our speed on that record for maybe some catchier like lyrical passages or something like that, more hooky stuff, more melody driven stuff on that album. And we sacrificed some of our speed for that. And although we don't dislike that album or anything like that, we did make a conscious decision, like, okay, next album, let's do it a little bit heavier. That seems to be more our element. And yes, we did really want to make it more of a dark record, because that's just kind of where my songwriting was, and that's just like a really inspirational thing for all of us. And we were like, okay, so let's make this next album kind of like a spooky movie in some sort of way. Yeah.
Yeah, some of the musical comparisons we've heard are a little off, we'd say. Like a lot of people are comparing you to Jag Panzer, which I think is, I mean, the way
Yeah.
Harry wailed on the first album, I understand, but you guys are much hairier, heavier than Jag Panzer. They're more
And different
power.
subject
They're more
matters.
power metal, and yeah, exactly.
For sure, yeah. You can't deny Jag Panzer's legacy. Like, they're a wonderful band and everything like that. But I've always been kind of puzzled by that comparison, but still thankful because they're cool and everything.
It's a
But
good
it's like,
band at least, right? Now, for me, I
yeah,
always thought you guys remind me. I'm thinking like Wasp and like the early Armored Saint, and I don't know if you ever heard the band Trauma, the band that Cliff Burton was in. You guys sound exactly like Trauma's first record to me. Yeah.
Trauma. Yeah, I've heard a little bit of them. Really good band. Yeah, but you got the ball right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really it was on Shrapnel Records, so it's super intense, guitar driven, sleazy metal. It's a lot like Leathürbitch. Yeah.
Yeah, their original vocalist had passed away, and they've since found another one. But as soon as he heard you, he's like, he sounds like Donnie.
Yeah,
from the original Donnie.
Yeah. So again, they're a kick-ass band too. Yeah. So
super cool.
We did have Jag Panzer on the show, and I love them. It's just I couldn't when I read that comparison. I'm looking at Mark like,
you know what it is as soon as they have that tab in Metal Archives, similar bands. As soon as somebody puts that on there, then everybody just says, "Oh yeah," So
for sure, though. Yeah.
There's a lot of just following the herd, So
definitely.
Favorite tracks. Definitely the title track, Shattered Vanity. Wait, we're such a vain society. What do you think vanity encompasses? Is it all social media and selfies, or?
I mean, 100%. I mean, like, being vain and just vanity in general is just such a huge thing right now. Everybody's so obsessed with themselves. Everybody's looking for clout, looking for likes. They're seeking redemption, and just like, I don't know. It's a crazy world that we live in right now, and it's very age based too. Like, the younger you are, the better. Once you turn 30, just give up on everything, sort of thing. And that's a big thing that, like, the song Shattered Vanity, like, is about. It's just that song's basically about just like how vanity will actually end up destroying you. Like how you can't, one day you wake up in the mirror and you're just like, I'm not this young gun anymore. I'm not this, I'm not that. Time keeps on ticking. like, is my vanity gonna stay there? Or am I gonna keep pressing on through life? It's a very interesting time to be alive right now, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we'll be watching a documentary on Netflix, and it'll have some woman, and it'll say, what's it? Social influencer. And I'm like, what the hell does that mean? Does she have a
I
job? You know, what the hell?
Yeah, being an influencer, like yeah, that's a term I'm sick of too. Yeah.
Do
It
you,
doesn't tell me anything about what the person does. So
do you
Yeah,
guys
yeah.
have a selfie museum?
yeah,
Selfie museum. I love that.
yeah,
We went to one
we have
in
one in
Baltimore.
Baltimore. Yeah,
They have all kinds of rooms, all kinds of props. You can even selfie yourself in a bathtub full of money if you want.
yeah.
Wow. Okay.
It's a photo studio where you go and you just get fancy selfies. Yeah. So.
No.
What a time to be alive. That's wonderful.
Yeah, the joke is 5 minutes ago I was changing a dirty diaper and now I'm sitting in a bathtub full of $100 bills, you know.
I love that. I love that.
Oh, it was great. I loved the mirror breaking at the end of that song too. That was a great touch.
Thank you. That was my idea. I'm like, we gotta solidify it, guys, you know.
That's it. Love the sound of breaking glass. Yeah.
And we both love Betrayal. You're just so filled with torment. Was that based on like an actual thing or a story?
It's like a fake story that I kind of wrote by myself. Some people may not know this, but like one of my hugest motivators musically with my writing is Kate Bush. Kate Bush is like a huge inspiration to me, and not because of the stuff she writes about, but just her ability to just like write her own little short stories in a song and just like have a beginning, middle, and end to it, and just create her own little world, which is kind of what I did with Betrayal. It's basically about betraying this very powerful warlock named the Black Starr, and basically just like all the things that are going to happen to you after you betray this man. And like, yeah, that's the chorus is like, Black Starr is rising tonight, like he's coming after you. So I just kind of like wrote this little short story about betraying a warlock, because there's enough stories about witches. So I was like, okay, we're gonna make this a male character,
Yeah,
and he's coming out for revenge, and that's where I just let it all fly.
that's wild. You think Kate Bush just like because she hadn't put out an album in ages when the Stranger Things thing happened. You think she just woke up one day and somebody said, "You're the #1 song in the world." The song that you recorded
Like, is that
decades
so?
ago.
Am I back in billboards again? It's crazy. Yeah,
Exactly.
she just
Exactly. Yeah, just all of a
that
sudden,
woman.
yeah,
She's
everyone's
just, yeah.
covering your song. Yeah, crazy.
I know, I love it. People are like, "Are you mad about this?" I'm like, "No, I love that more people are getting into Kate Bush, but damn, if they could know more than just that one song, that'd be great."
Yeah, talk about a range. She could shatter some glass too. Yeah.
Oh gosh, yes,
Yeah.
we're the best. We're the best.
Yeah.
Oh, so I also really liked the Dark Mirror one, and the whole thing about the killer revealing the victim from the grave and all that stuff. I loved that video. I was dying when the microphone was moving to the
Yeah,
killer.
the Ouija board microphone.
Wait, why did you choose a meat hook as a weapon?
Yeah, that's pretty savage. A meat hook, like not even a traditional weapon by any means. We're gonna do a meat hook. That was the director. He actually thought of that. He had a meat hook on hand for one reason or another, and yeah, we used that as a prop. But I'm glad you enjoyed that video. It was fun to make.
Yeah.
It was really good. The graveyard scene and everybody coming forth, and then she whips
Thank-
out the meat hook at the end, like aha.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah,
Indiana,
really
Indiana
glad.
Jones would have been as popular if he had used an ice pick instead of a bullwhip, you know. It would have been a totally different movie, you know. Yeah.
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 So the
Oh,
girl
Lord.
in that video, is that the same one on the album cover?
It is, yeah. She's the same one that's on the Shattered Vanity album cover, not to be mistaken with the girl that's on the other two album covers.
Yeah.
That's Brianna Whipple.
Is
But
she
yeah.
like is she somebody's girlfriend or is she just somebody you know or
She's just a friend of ours, Kristen. We met her when we were playing a show in Riverside, California, in like 2019. She was playing a DJ set. She's like a DJ in her spare time, and she was playing a DJ set after we were all done. And she came up to me, and she first thing she said to me was, "So, how do I become a leather bitch?" And I was just like, "Oh, okay."
Wow.
And we became really good friends after that. Ended up hanging out after the show. She hosted my whole band, let us stay at her house and stuff. And yeah, we just became really good friends. She's in a band herself called the Fly Traps, and yeah, she's pretty active in the scene herself. But yeah, we were really honored that she was willing to pose on the cover for us and just go through all that and be like a fully recognized leather bitch. She's very passionate about it, and so are we.
So what are you think the biggest challenges you faced as a band so far?
Lineup changes for sure. Uh, yeah, the only two people in the band that have stayed the same are myself and Patrick, the guitar player, the other founding member. Him and I are like two of the original members, and it's been a rotating group of people ever since 2015. With our other guitar player, Alex Ponder, we consider him to be like the third original member now because he's been in the ranks with us for a long time. But yeah, long story short, drummers. Yeah, I hate working with them.
That's why the drummers are in 300 bands, right? Yeah.
I'm saying they're all in 300 bands, and it's just yeah, they're anybody. Ask anybody. It's always going to be the drummer that's going to give you the most heartache. I feel, but it's okay. We got David in our band now. He's been in the band for almost a year now, and he's holding his weight really well. So I
Cool.
think we're in a good place now, finally.
What advice would you give to a bands in similar situations on how to handle that and how to get through it?
Communication is key. You got to communicate with your band members, and you gotta be decent, and you got to remember that you have other people that are depending on you throughout these creative endeavors. So if you let one person down, you let everybody down. So you kind of have to think of outside of yourself and think of the bigger picture, but easier said than done. I think communication is so important in a band. You need to have like a group chat going. You need to be in constant communication with each other, just to make sure that you meet that goal.
Yeah. That's true. I remember like watching documentaries of like the classic bands like, Sabbath and Purple and all, and they were like, we never talked to each other about anything. We never talked about how we felt. We never, that's probably
Yeah.
not a good thing, So,
No, that can't be good. Yeah, that's a recipe for disaster.
I really like how you guys all have like a united front. It almost looks like there's a Leathürbitch uniform. I mean, is there a code, or you guys just you literally all look kind of the same, which is good.
Well, I mean, yeah, I think that's what makes a great band. You want them to be recognizable in the crowd. You know what I mean? And I think all great bands kind of have like this uniform where they all kind of look relative to each other. And yeah, I think that in modern metal trends, the way you look on stage is not important at all. But we feel that like you need to look the part and sound the part. And when you look different on stage while you're performing, people actually hear your music differently and they perceive it differently. So I think the main thing with our dress code is just wear leather of some form, and then you're good.
Right. Then you're good.
No tutus, right?
No tutus allowed. Maybe the next album.
Maybe the next now.
Oh, I love it. So, speaking of hair, you guys all have amazing hair. Are there products involved or haircuts? You got a beer guy.
I know. Here I am with my hat on and everything like that. Sorry, you guys caught me like right after work, but I'm not gonna even lie to you guys. I get perms regularly.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's what keeps my hair all giant. It's a little 80s secret. The rest of the guys, they don't get perms necessarily, but lots of dry shampoo. Dry shampoo is your best friend when you want to make your hair kind of voluptuous. So definitely.
Yeah, I remember like in the late 80s, early 90s, I got a couple perms. I remember, yeah. My father hated it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, my dad not a fan, but it's okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What are you gonna do, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So we play a little game. Don't be frightened.
Okay.
I have 100 questions in front of me, but you're only going to answer 5, and you're going to pick what number questions you answer. So I need 5 numbers between 1 and 100.
Okay, so number 8, number 1, number 9, and number 32.
Need one more.
Oh yeah, and sorry, number 36.
All right. This is the last time for me. Number 8. Weirdest thing in your parents' or grandparents' home?
Where in Spain do they come from?
No.
Yeah,
Weirdest thing in your parents' or grandparents' home?
In their home? That's a great question. The weirdest thing in their home would be, I would say it would be my parents' house phone. They just got rid of it like a few months ago. Um, 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 I would say my mom got a portrait of herself done when she was about 6 years old, and it's like this giant oil painting of her with like creepy eyes, and it's in the garage, and that portrait is very haunting. I don't know why. My grandpa had it done by an oil painter in the 70s, and it's yeah, it'll be in my living room one day, I'm sure.
It's funny. We did a show from this antique store one time, and we talked to the guy, and we
Yeah.
came to realize that the weirdest thing in everybody's house, that's what they do for a living. They want that because it's probably collectible.
Oh, really?
And I thought, you poor bastard, you're going around collecting the stuff that's mentally scarring all of us,
I love that. I love that. Yeah, they don't even realize.
Number 1. What outfit have you worn in the past that you would not wear today?
Oh, there's so many. There's so many. An outfit that I've worn in the past I would not wear today. Where do I even start? I think that the fake leather pants that you can buy on the internet, those kind of just like the fake legging material sort of things. I would say I'd probably never wear that again, or just like I used to wear like really strange colored pants, like bright green or like bright red colored pants and stuff like that in high school. I think that's a terrible look. It aged badly. That's all I could really think of.
Yeah, you seem like you're pretty tall too.
I'm 6'2", so that's fairly tall.
I gotta remember like those pants that like Paul Gilbert would wear on those Racer X albums. Remember that? It's just horrible.
Horrible. Yeah. Oh gosh.
Did not age well. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing about the 80s. A lot of things aged well and a lot of things aged like milk. So you gotta be selective.
Yep.
All right, so we're moving on to number 9. Is there any book or movie where you would change the ending if you could?
Well, I'm trying to think. That's a really good one. I'm trying to think of like a sad movie that I could have turned around. Let's see. I'm thinking I'm thinking of the 1989 Christmas movie Prancer.
Oh, yeah.
I think that if I could have changed that movie, I would have made it to where Jessica Riggs' mom never died in the beginning, and she just lived a beautiful life and never had to deal with her alcoholic dad, and just became a wonderful, like, motivated person later in life.
That's beautiful. I would change whatever happened to Baby Jane. I would have had both of them arrested at the very beginning of the movie. Just roll the credits because they're both crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have saved a whole movie there.
Oh.
Yeah.
That movie is, it's out there. Yeah.
All right, number 32. What food can you cook better than anyone?
Oh man, I'm a terrible cook. Ask anybody. It's like a thing. People make fun of me, but I say that I make spaghetti better than anybody because I'm just an expert in boiling noodles and whatnot. So
Boiling
spaghetti,
noodles.
yes.
Do you jazz up your sauce at all?
I add sometimes if I'm feeling crazy, I add a little jar garlic to it. That's about it.
I only had one person in my entire life, and it was a boyfriend's mom. She burnt the spaghetti, and I had to sit there and like just push it around my plate and act like I was eating. It was
Oh my
horrible.
God, she
Oh,
burns.
you poor thing.
It
Oof.
tasted. I don't know how. I don't even know how to do that.
How do you burn
She did it.
spaghetti? Wow.
She was
That's a
not a
tough one to make. That is a tough one.
36. How similar are you to your parents?
How similar am I? I'm very similar to my parents, especially my mom. My mom and I are very, very alike. But I also get a lot of my creativity from my dad and just the love for horror and macabre things. I definitely get that from my dad. My dad's a very creative person himself, and yeah, I think that my just like my thirst for art and just expressing myself, I definitely got that from my dad. But a lot of my little quirks, my personality traits, and stuff like that, I definitely got that from my mom. I'm very much like a male representation of my mom, I'd say. But yeah, definitely very much their kid for sure.
I'm constantly rooting through my parents' drawers looking for the adoption papers. So
Oh man, I
haven't
hope.
found them yet.
Hey,
Did
there's
they
still
come?
time.
Did they come see you play?
They have seen me play, yes, a few times. They've seen Leathürbitch perform one time actually. We played at the Ken Club in like 2018, I believe. They haven't been to a lot of my shows, but they've been to a couple for sure.
I got a heavy hair question for you. All right, so Wasp canceled their tour because of Blackie's back problems,
They
right?
did. I had tickets. Yeah.
Yeah, well, okay, there you go. All right. So should he have just sang sitting down, or was it better from just cancel the whole thing? What do you think?
Personally, I think it's good that he canceled it.
Yeah, I agree.
I would have not wanted to see a half-ass performance from him, and I doubt he would have wanted to
No,
give
we
performance.
were
He
making all
probably
these jokes about are they going to sing "I Sit Like a Beast" and
I sit
it's
like a beast.
not cool.
I heard he wasn't even playing that song anyways, right? I don't
Well,
know.
yeah, well, yeah. There's that. Yeah. Anyway.
So we saw you guys were did the Frozen in Time Festival in June. You were with a lot of our friends there.
Oh,
So
yeah. A lot of the bands there have
Yeah,
been on the show. Yeah.
yeah, we had
Frozen. Yes, it was so fun. Had such a good time.
Cool. Yeah. Traveler's been on the show. We've had
Haunt.
Haunt, Trevor. Yeah, Trevor. Yeah.
Yeah, we love Trevor. Great guy. Great guy.
So high energy he is. Yeah.
Oh my
Very
gosh, yeah. It was great to interview him, but we were like 20 minutes in and we hadn't asked a question. He was just going. I was
Just yeah, he's
Sounds like
so energetic. Yeah.
I love that. I love that so much.
So, did you guys make any new band romances while you were there?
Yeah,
Any new band romance?
well, discover anybody that you didn't know about, I guess. Yeah.
Um, to be honest, I was pretty familiar with everybody that we played with on the bill. I would say one band that I really got my eye on now is Crossed Hearts. They played the same night as us, and they're also actually on Shadow Kingdom Records, like us. And
Great lady.
being able to see, yeah, yeah, we love it. Being able to see Crossed Hearts live.
How is it work? How is the label working for you? You have good experience with them?
I think I lost you guys.
There we go. Can you hear
Yeah.
us now? Yeah, you
Yep,
froze
perfect.
up for a second there. It's funny. We asked you about the Frozen in Time tour, and then you were frozen in time. How do you like?
So we were just asking, you know, about did you get to see Savage Master? We saw
I
them.
did. Yes, actually, Savage Master is wonderful. I've got the opportunity to see them a few times, but this was the first time that we played the same bill as them. And yeah, it was really cool. We had our merch tables next to each other, you know. I'm friends. I'm friends with Eric, who's like their merch guy. So like we were getting to sit next to each other, and it was just like they're just a really cool band. I was just stoked to play with them, to be honest.
Yeah, somebody was asking me about them in my office today, and I was like, there's an S&M thing going on.
Low
Everybody
key.
wearing masks. I don't know. What else do you want to know?
I mean, right? Yeah. Don't ask too many questions, right?
No, you're not gonna like it. You're not gonna get into it.
So yeah, we just had a tour. It was Sanhedrin and Traveler and Savage Master. So is there a chance we could, lure you out of,
Yeah, to the East Coast.
the East Coast?
Yeah.
We're in
Oh, please.
Baltimore.
We would love to. Like we're dying to tour. We're dying to go to the East Coast. Like any opportunities that are presented to us, we'll definitely consider. Yeah, we love the East Coast. So
If you could make your own lineup, and it can be bands existing or no longer existing, who like would you maybe 2 or 3 bands that would be your fantasy lineup to put with you?
to put with Leathürbitch,
Yeah.
oh god. So it would be us headlining, and then we would have oh goodness, I'd want to like play with like Judas Priest because I mean it all comes down to Judas Priest at the end of the day. That's why I do what I do, you know. And I think that I would really want to play with Loudness. That would be another one. I've actually gotten the opportunity to play with them, but not in Leathürbitch. But yeah, that's like one of the most inspirational bands. Um, how many people in the lineup did you say? I
About
list
4 bands.
4 bands. Okay, so my band, Judas Priest, Loudness, and then we would put like I would put Solicitor in there, which is another Portland local like speed metal band, kind of relative to ours in a way. I really love what they're doing, so I think that it would be like a really cool lineup to have us all together for sure. That's my fantasy lineup for sure.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I saw Loudness in 1985. They opened for Motley Crue. Yeah.
That's such an iconic tour. People tell me about that tour all the time. I have like a reprinted shirt from that tour,
Yeah.
and I used to work at the airport, and I would always have people telling me like, I went to that tour. I saw them with Loudness, and
Yeah.
I obviously wasn't alive yet, but it looked iconic, looked amazing.
The takeaway was, wow, Motley Crue kind of sucks. That was
I
the
love that. I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, because
I mean,
Loudness was so tight and so perfect, and Akira was like Eddie Van Halen on steroids.
come
It
on,
just, yeah, they should have never had them open for them.
I'm saying, and like,
Yeah.
yeah, Motley Crue literally like has 5 really good albums. They're great albums, but Loudness is like
And
they're
at
just
that time when they were so hungry because they were in America, it was like they were ready to conquer the world. And when Vince came stumbling out half drunk, I was like, okay, this band kind of sucks. Well, this was great.
Oh, it was awesome. So
Yeah.
we're hoping maybe to get you guys out there. You know what? We were in, I guess, last December. We were in Oregon very briefly. He was on business, so I just went along.
Right.
IPAs are fantastic there.
Oh yeah, and the coffee too. Yeah.
yes, IPAs and coffee and strip clubs on every block for you here.
Yeah.
Maybe there'll be a Leathürbitch beer at some point.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be great.
Yeah. It seems like every American black metal band is coming out of Portland now. It's just there's so much of that.
It's true. Yeah, there's a lot going on out here. Portland has a very hungry and very passionate music scene, especially in the heavier aspects of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, we were very impressed. We went out one night randomly, and this place was off the hook. It was like we split a burger, and it was like almost too much food. It was like stuff falling off of it. It was awesome. The guys have amazing food.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm glad you guys had fun. Yeah, I love it out here.
Did you ever audition like a drummer or a guitar player that thought he was just going to play Dark Throne the whole time, and you're like, no, play LA Guns? Did you ever have that? I mean, like...
I wish. Yeah, it's more like the opposite. I kept finding people that were just like, I don't know. We thought we would run into people that wanted to just play super fast and not, slow down a little bit for us. But we found a lot of people that played like super slow and just couldn't find that right tempo for it. Right? It's just, I don't know.
There's a
drummers.
documentary about the band Rigor Mortis from Texas. It's great. I don't know if you've seen it. It's great. And they talk about trying to find people to play thrash metal in 1988. And everybody wanted to play Aerosmith and Skinner and stuff. It's great.
That must have been drumming on like auditioning drummers back then for a thrash metal band was a lot harder because that was a very yeah. Can't even imagine that.
Exactly. Things have changed a lot. Yeah.
Well, we hope to lure you out this way, but worst comes to worst, we'll have to come back to Oregon and suffer
100%.
through
Yeah.
wonderful IPAs.
Yeah, we have a warehouse out in Oregon, and I think it's a cruelty joke. My controller keeps sending me out there to do inventory, so I have a feeling I'll be out there again soon. So.
Well, if you guys ever are, hit us up. We'll grab an IPA together.
Exactly.
Show you guys stuff.
The
Sounds great.
last time we were out there was December, and my hair was blue, and I was literally trying to help him outside, and I'm like freezing, like literally looking like I'm turning into an ice cube. Oh my God, the winters are brutal. How do you hold on?
Yeah, they never send me to like Savannah. It's always someplace cold in the winter. Yeah.
Oh, of course, though. Yeah, you got to have the full winter experience, you know.
Yeah.
I love it.
We were enamored with the little ladybug coffee shops that you drive up 24 hours a day, and there's a girl in there in a bikini. I'm like,
that was my first job, actually. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Well, you needed the work, right? So,
man, you know, we do what we can out here.
This is the Snaggletooth Rock and Roll Podcast.